Hey Village, welcome back to 20 Yvette Speaks. This is your host, 20 Yvette, and for the next few minutes, we are going to be talking about one of the top stories in the news, so stay tuned. Hey Village, I am coming to you with yet another update on the cuties case. So, this whole thing has been going on since 2 months ago. August the 20th, they have a report via the internet, meaning everybody in the internet. Netflix apologizes and changes marketing materials for cuties. Netflix posted on Twitter, "We are deeply sorry for the inappropriate artwork that we used for cuties. It was not okay, nor was it representative of this French film which won an award at Sundance. We've now updated the pictures and description." And of course, it still looks the same to we Americans because we normally don't do this to our children. So let's give you a rundown of that entire month. And let me tell you, Rogue Rocket has the best article for this. Many accused Netflix of misrepresenting the French film Cutie and hypersexualizing children in its recent promotions. Number 2, they say Netflix has apologized and updated its marketing materials for the film, calling it previous poster and description inappropriate. Number 3 says the film actually earned positive reviews and an award at the 2020 Sundance Festival earlier this year, with some calling it a proactive coming of age, so to speak, film that raises questions about today's destruction of innocence. And number 4, still issues were not just about marketing. Some feel the film is inappropriate, especially since it relies on young actresses to tell its story. As a result, many want Netflix to pull it from its September 9th release. So you already know how I feel, and I totally agree with number 4. They could have used different actresses because nobody wants to see, little children doing that on screen or in real life unless you have something mentally wrong with you. It's just, not right at all. And the apology was widely not accepted because they, could have used Netflix resources, to apologize and to pull the plug on this, or to at least mark it somewhat inappropriate. But it's a fine line because, as being a movie maker, you want to give people this, insight on what we could be missing as parents, this, that, and the other. But then you have to find a way to package it and actually find a way, if you will, not just about packaging and promoting, but definitely this whole, inner workings of it, making that it gained an award did not warrant or make it right, in America. French are more liberal, and I'm sure, the director was very pleased. She actually won an award, for this, and that's great. But it just, here in America, it just doesn't set right with a lot of people, especially if you have children. Some people will automatically get the message that Netflix was trying to, give and not be upset about it, while other people have totally different views. So let's fast forward to September 4th. We understand that Cuties director received death threats over Netflix film poster. So it wasn't just about the film, but it was actually, again, about the packaging. So the director of Cuties has said she's received death threats after a promotional poster for the film was criticized for sexualizing children. Okay, Netflix apologized and removed the image after receiving significant backlash on social media. And the filmmaker has now told Deadline that she received numerous death threats over this poster. Was she responsible for this poster? No. Actually, Netflix was responsible for the packaging and the promotion and uploading the film for American viewers. So she says Netflix co-CEO phoned her directly to apologize after the poster sparked controversy. And so Cuties originally premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, as we know, in January actually, and received positive reviews from critics. Didn't say anything about how it was received, widely via the audience, but movie critics, they approved of this. And as you know, here in America, we have a lot of movie directors that have been penalized, dragged through the mud because of their sexual activity. And people are coming out and speaking about it. And I can't help but think and feel that this is why, or just one of the reasons why, Americans are so down on this whole thing. The packaging was wrong. There are too many men involved, too many men on set, the makeup, the hair. It was almost like if you've ever modeled and you have to get undressed in front of people and, get redressed, and you know what I'm saying? They're total strangers. You don't know them. They don't know you. And it's a very uncomfortable situation. So I could just imagine what was going on behind closed doors to make this happen. Okay, Texas grand jury indicts Netflix for allegedly promoting lewd commercial material over the film Cuties. And let me see, Harmet Kaur from CNN actually covered this part of the story and did a very good job. I normally don't even go to CNN, but the fact that they were on point with this article was amazing to me. Now, I gotta be honest and tell you, I am so distraught about this because I don't understand what was going through their mind other than we need to make money and this is a good way to make money, but you don't exploit children for making money. And that's just my commentary and my opinion, okay? So what Texas is saying is the grand jury in Texas has indicted Netflix over the French film Cuties, which has become the target of intense online criticism since it began streaming on the platform in September. So the film was viewed first at the beginning of the year. It won an award at Sundance, and then Netflix picked it up and did all the paperwork and the contracts, and boom, it hit. And so it's been streaming on Netflix since September. I have seen the movie, as I stated before. I am not a fan, although, my professional opinion is yes, I completely understand what they were trying to say. I think the creator of Cuties, she was doing it the way you know how. And we're used to that. American films are created in a way that is going to be widely accepted, but also getting your point across. And when it's like a docu-film, or you're filming something that may reflect how another generation feels, or how people look at them, how people portray, we walk a fine line. We would not be able to do this and put it out as is, like as you see it on Netflix. Somebody would automatically be in jail. As a matter of fact, the film probably wouldn't even hit the silver screen. It probably would have, maybe be widely spread on the internet. But, I've seen other movies. Diary of a Tired Black Man never made it to the silver screen because of some of the things that went on in it. I found it to be a heart-provoking film, but at the same time, would I want, my younger children to see that movie? I have to question, just because of some of the activity. There was actually a child involved in Diary of a Tired Black Man, and the parents, were going back and forth, and it's just some things that, after watching it, it opened the door for me to talk to my child and be like, I never want you to feel like this, or whatever. And so it goes back to Cuties. That's just like the first movie that popped into my head when I, thought about Cuties. I said, oh my goodness. The message got lost because of, overprotective parents. I am included in that. Like I told you, my daughter is 27 years old. I can't help it. I'm still protective. And now that I have, grandchild and another grandchild on the way, those defenses are just up. So I completely understand. Now, as far as the indictment is concerned, I don't know how far they're going to get with this. Um, but I tell you, let me just tell you what the author says. She says that Cuties is a social commentary against the sexualization of young children. And this charge is without merit, and we stand by the film. So Netflix is standing, with the creator. The creator doesn't know what to do. Netflix is standing by the film. And actually what they mean is we stand by putting the film on Netflix because people are watching and we're making money. And if you know anything about business, any media is good media because it keeps you relevant. In this case, however, I think Netflix is completely wrong. And to save face, and being that Netflix is already in financial distress, I probably would have just pulled the film, and apologized instead of apologizing yet keeping the film running, because it wasn't just the packaging, like I keep saying. It actually, parents are upset. And I understand why. There are even people that are speaking out on Twitter that are not parents, or they're not parents yet. And they just are going wild. If you have not seen Cuties, the movie tells the story of an 11-year-old Amy, as she starts to rebel against the norms of her conservative Muslim family. And it is a very Muslim family. What made her change? Amy in the movie started going down the wrong path because she did not like a move that her father made for the family. And she saw her mother break down in tears, and she was so distraught. But the Muslim community, they save face. They cry in private, and they're strong in public. So Amy's mother did not get any sympathy from anybody except for, her daughter, because everybody else was so stone-faced. And it confuses children when you don't show your true emotions, and when you act crazy, or you accept things that just is unspeakable. Children get confused by your actions. And I feel like if we're true to form, true to ourselves, true to our hearts, true to our spirit, our children will then not be so confused, and then there won't be stuff like this needed. But we don't live in a perfect world, and I feel bad for the children and the children's parents, and a lot of the young actresses and their families are protected right now. They're hush hush because of the death threat the director has gotten, or several death threats. It's just a big old mess. Putting this film out and not listening to hashtag cancel Netflix has really made a mess. And I have to say this, you guys, I can't believe that this is such a big traumatic thing. It could have been handled so easily, but these people are just I don't want to say they're blowing things out of proportion, but good grief. So my thing is, if you don't like stuff like this, don't watch the film. And I promise you, Netflix will have no other choice but to pull it. That's the best way to handle things. When you give stuff your energy, then it's like, oh, let's do it more. Let's give them more. But if you pull your energy from it, it dies down. You can't feed a monster, with nothing, it likes. So then the monster goes away and, it's over. So I don't know, you guys. It has gotten to the point of going to court, and I don't know how this is going to play out. It's just a mess. And like I said, I can't believe, literally, I can't believe that this is so huge. I can't. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. It is a controversial moment in time here in grand old 2020. Yeah. But if you especially are parents, and you've even considered or thought about putting your children in the public's eye, and your children having a career in film or dance or whatever, would you consider this film? Would you allow your 11-year-old daughter, 12-year-old daughter to participate in something like this? And also, if you're like an expecting parent, or you've adopted, or anywhere, like if you were a child, as a matter of fact, would love to hear your commentary on, if you were a child, would your mom and dad allow you to do this? Those are the types of questions I want answered from the Victory Village, because they weigh heavily and what we know as adults to be true. So I can't wait to hear from you guys. All right, I'm going to get out of here because I have yet another story to edit. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you listening to me. And oh my goodness, I can't wait to read your material. Thank you so much for tuning in to Twani Yvette Speaks today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out our other stories on the community tab. And if you have a tip on a story that you would like for me to cover and commentate on, please click on the About section and contact me anytime. Again, thank you so much. And until next time, live on purpose. Bye for now.